Josie here with an episode of Art I Have Made. We're gonna go way back today, all the way back to my teenage years. Shield your eyes from the brilliance, my friends, because here is one of my first ever arts. Cue slide. I know. You're impressed right now, aren't you? So amazing. A little context, I grew up in northern Minnesota. Minnesota is in like the top middle of America on the border of Canada. It snows about 9 months or so out of the year up there. And though Lake Superior is incredibly beautiful and it's almost like an ocean because you can't even see across to the other side, you can't swim in it because it stays about 49 degrees year round, so you'd just die. My parents were countercultural Christian hippies, if you can wrap your brain around that. They raised us in this cabin with wood heat and an outhouse, and they raised horses and sometimes cows and goats and chickens and gardens, and my dad was also a painter. And they homeschooled us, which back in the day wasn't like really a normal thing. I had a lot of creative freedom, so like I tried to write a novel at some point. I probably wrote 5 or 6 chapters of this murder mystery novel. And I also was writing this novel on a typewriter, friends. Old school typewriter, where you have to, not even an electric kind, but like the kind that you have to really pound the keys and then the little lever like dink, dink, dink. And in fact, people still make fun of me because I type really hard, because that's how I learned. I had to like really put some force into my typing in those days. The old days, friends. This is the old days. I also wanted to be a concert pianist for a hot second, and let me tell you, I can play a mean fur-elise. But eventually I was like, well, okay, my dad's an artist, I guess I'll be an artist. So I started off by doing self-portraits. So I'd set up a mirror in my bedroom, and then I would draw myself. There's a couple more from those days. It was good times. Good times. The talent was obvious from a very early age. Just kidding, I don't believe in talent. I wanted to tell you a little bit more about my very atypical upbringing as I continue my series of art that I have made. I had decided to be an artist when I was in high school, except I wasn't in high school because I was homeschooled, but it wasn't really homeschool. It was more like something that nowadays they call unschooling, which is kind of just like letting the kid do whatever they want. Well, first of all, there wasn't TV, or actually we had TV, but my parents wouldn't pay for a dish, so instead we had an antenna. And the thing about the antenna is it had like this motor, and you could adjust it, and then it would take about 25 minutes to like go all the way around. And the motor that would turn the antenna got increasingly louder and louder and louder until it started to sound kind of like a helicopter was landing on the roof. And then finally it just died. It was over. But we still wanted to watch our TV, The Cosby Show. We didn't know back then, we just didn't know. And furthermore, can we all agree that Lisa Bonet is and was the coolest human being on the planet? Anyway, when the show was coming on, because the motor was broken, one of us would have to run up onto the roof and manually adjust the antenna. So, a half an hour before the show was supposed to start, my brother and I would play rock, paper, scissors, and one of us would have to go up there and the other one would be like, okay, a little bit to the left. No, more to the left. No, your other left. The fact that we didn't have easy access to TV is probably what meant that I made a lot of art and rode some horses and did some writing and did a lot of reading, and all in all turned out to be the outstanding human that I now am.